Blog Talk Radio.
What you are about to hear are the views of Travis Pope and the Oklahoma Tomcat and is not supported by the government. Agreeing with the hosts of this show could cause you to be targeted by the government and government agencies. You have been warned.
Good morning, Texas.
Good morning, Colorado.
As you can tell in my voice, I'm not too thrilled.
Yeah, you sound like you in that Dallas traffic there.
Yeah, the parking lot.
The parking lot.
Oh wow! I get to actually hit 15 miles an hour.
Yeah, are you still there?
Yes. Yeah, we having a problem?
All right, having some technical difficulties. All right, now we're back on.
Okay. You know, we can't make this a habit on our show, you know.
Oh, I know. What happened there was that it started heating up in here in the truck a little bit, so I started the truck to get a little bit cooled down in here a little bit. And when I did, the phone connected to the stereo.
Okay, yeah, I understand that.
And disconnected my headset.
Yeah.
But I'm back on.
That's good. Looks like I'm going to end up have to throw the tarp on the load.
I told you.
Well, I've only got about 50 miles till I get stopped, and I'll be able to do it to the truck stop. Doesn't look like I'm going to hit any rain within 50 miles.
You hope not.
It doesn't look like it, looking up ahead.
Yeah. For those that don't know, well, if you've been listening to our show long enough, we're truck drivers, and we live the truck driver's life. And some of our loads require tarping, and they don't require tarping unless it rains. And looks like Oklahoma Tomcat will end up having to tarp his load anyways, because I told him, I warned him, it's going to rain down there. It's been raining down there. But no.
Yeah, I looked at the weather and I thought, I saw on the weather, because I did look up the weather for San Antonio. I saw they have a 80% chance of rain, so I wanted to get out of the shipper and get down the road, and since it was sunny up there in Oklahoma, out there, I'd at least get, pretty close before I had to throw the tarp on. Can't tarp on their property anyway. They had signs out saying no tarping on their property, so.
Yeah.
I had to leave it.
Yeah. For our audience, this is a pre-recorded show, so you won't be able to call in. on this show here. So we're just going to ramble and talk about things that are going on. Especially tomorrow morning, me and him will both be busy. I'll probably be stuck in an area where I have no signal. So we're taking this time out to make this show now because there's too much news, just exploding right now, and we don't want to miss out on it. We don't want to give our thoughts, our rants and raves and all that stuff without at least airing it. and we'll have to bear with Oklahoma Tomcat with all the noise coming in the background.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
So,
I'm here in Texas.
But yeah, but we are here. We are here to talk. We're being put in a position that we probably don't want to be in, but we are in it, so we don't have to talk about it. But other than that, and you won't hear our Miss Giggles today. We need to make a sound clip of her giggles so we can have the giggles on the radio when she's not around.
My wife suggested that to me. She suggested that I take one of our shows and edit out her giggle and make it into a sound clip.
Yeah, we don't have to record her giggles and make it into a sound clip just so she doesn't feel left out.
Yeah. I also saw our audience don't miss her too much.
Yeah.
I'm sure she has some fans in our audience,
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. So,
yeah, we need to help her find a job so that she can be on when we do these afternoon shows.
Yeah, she's kind of blossomed out with us now.
Yeah.
When she first started, it was she was kind of shy, and it was like,
quiet.
What the heck did you get me into? And kind of quiet, intimidated, basically. And after a while, she is now a libertarian. We've browbeat her enough on it, so she becomes I think she really enjoys it. She really misses.
Yeah, she does.
Misses. She really misses coming on our show whenever we can't do it or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's told me that she really looks forward to being on our show and everything. She even got in a big debate with you over burgers.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a step out right there.
Yeah.
She's trying to flex her wings a little bit, but I had to shut her down.
Yeah, you're a big bully that way.
Yeah.
Very libertarian of you.
Yeah.
But no, she does enjoy being on the show, and so.
Yeah, we can't allow her feminism to rise up.
I am woman, hear me roar.
So, but yeah, we got to get her a new show. We got to get her a new job so she can come be on the show.
Yeah. Yeah, she's trying to find one. So you are being our Miss Producer today.
Yeah, I'm on the studio, so I'll just try to be Miss Giggles.
Oh boy,
that didn't work, did it?
No, it didn't. Nope.
Well, here's something I just want to touch bases on real quick. You remember the guy that was behind the 3D printed guns?
Yep.
The Austin man behind 3D printed gun company. You since everything is about the news today, guess what he's being accused of?
Oh no, now what?
Huh?
And now what?
Cody Wilson, the Austin man who owns controversial 3D printed gun company, Defense Distributed, has been accused of sexually assaulting a 16-year-old girl. An affidavit obtained by KVUE reveals Austin police confirmed Wilson, who is not in custody, is not believed to be in the United States as of Wednesday. During a forensic interview with the Center with Child Protection on August 27th, the victim told counselors she met Wilson through the website SugarDaddyMeatCom.com. Court documents show Wilson used the profile Sanjo and told the victim that he was a big deal. During the conversation, he also identified himself as Cody Wilson. Police said the two exchanged cell phone numbers and continued their conversation using the Apple iMessage service on her phone. The victim told police on August 15th she and Wilson met in person in the parking lot of Banu Coffee on 515 South Congress Avenue. Court documents show Wilson showed up in a black Ford Edge four-door sports utility vehicle with a license plate that matches one registered to Wilson's business. Defense Distributed. Court documents show there was surveillance video of this meeting. The victim then told police that Wilson took her to the Archer Hotel at 3121 Palm Way. Surveillance cameras captured the two using the valet service in the lobby and in the elevator. The victim also said Wilson took her to room 718 where he allegedly sexually assaulted her. Afterwards, she said he paid her $500. During a press conference Wednesday, Austin police said Wilson's last known location was in Taiwan. Wilson also missed a scheduled flight back to the U.S., according to Austin police. We know Mr. Wilson frequently travels for business. We don't know why he went to Taiwan, but we do know before he left, he was informed by a friend of the victim that she had spoken to police, and police were investigating him for having sex with a minor, said Commander Troy Officer. When asked if there could be any confusion about the victim's age, Officer said there is no way. Many detectives have interviewed and spoke with this victim, and in their opinion, if someone mistakes her age, it would be because they think she's younger, not older than 16 years old, that she is, said Officer. Wilson is now in custody, but Austin police said they are working with national and international law enforcement officers to locate him. The U.S. Marshals also officially released a wanted poster for Wilson on Wednesday.
Wow. No, the government's always been wanting to get them.
Yeah.
You know, the timing is quite interesting, you know, because he just got cleared by courts for his business.
Yeah. What's crazy is, man, is that they had surveillance cameras everywhere. Everywhere, man. Let's see. The parking lot where they met. Court documents show there was surveillance video of this meeting. The victim then told the police took her to Archer Hotel. Surveillance cameras captured the two using the valet service in the lobby and in the elevator. You know, but the thing is, she was on a website that
SugarDaddy.com.
18 to be on. Yeah.
Yeah.
SugarDaddyMeet.com. She was.
Yeah.
You have to be 18 to be on that site.
Yeah.
And according to retired Travis County Judge Charlie Barrett, the website SugarDaddyMeet.com should not face any charges or be held liable in this case. In his mind, they did their due diligence to make sure she was 18. In that case, the liability would be on Wilson. Well, she lied about her age.
Yeah.
She lied about her age. And I know a girl right now. She's 18. She's graduated from school. But if you meet her and you talk to her, she looks every bit about 13 or 14 years old. But she is 18.
Yeah.
So them saying, well, you couldn't mistake her for something older, if anything younger. Okay, I agree with that. Like I said, my daughter's best friend's sister is 18 and just graduated high school last year, and she looks every bit about 14 or 15, and she is real short.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't give her. She's about. Because I asked her when I seen her, I was like, she goes, "How old do you think I am?" I said, "About 13, 14." She goes, "No, I'm 18." And I said, "Okay. Why are you so small and all that?" Well, when she was born, she was born with a disability or what do they call that? She was actually, a disability that she was actually in the hospital for a few months after being born because of this disability. And this disability makes her where she's short and it doesn't look like she ages.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then you do have women that look a lot younger than they really are. And I mean, going by that website's name, I would assume that there's probably a lot of women on that website that look very young, or they try to, make themselves out to look very young. By going by the website's name, it sounds like a website where older men are looking for a younger-looking woman, But, being, actually, we could take a little thing here, with what happened here. Guys, be careful. I mean, you go on these websites, and you assume that everyone is of legal age on that website. On all these any of these dating websites, and there's a lot of them out there, or hookup websites and even apps. You got to be careful because the website, these companies can only go so far to verify the person's age. So you do have to watch out. Here's the thing, though. He ran.
Oh, with that, we need to go to break.
Already? Wow, so quick.
Yeah.
Let me quickly talk about. No, let me do a quick thing here on livepure.com/PTAT. That's Papa Tango Alpha Tango. So you go to this website, and this company is really amazing. Lots of you guys know that Travis and I are eating a lot healthier. We're on a healthy diet. It's a low-carb, very low-carb diet that we're both on. And we're trying to live a lot healthier life. It's very difficult, and there's a lot of people who really struggle to eat healthy. If you're one of those people that struggle to eat healthy, please go to this website and check it out. A lot of people, with the health insurance, with the health care skyrocketing, way out of control. Really, the biggest way for us to control our health care costs is to eat healthy. That's the best way to control that cost. So go to livepure.com/PTAT. Check out all the products. Anything you order, if you go to that website, is discounted. So go there, check it out, and we'll be back after these commercial breaks.
The Liberty National Network.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him going on to fascinate millions with his talent? 1 in 260,000. The odds of this born racer having 157 career top 10 finishes in NASCAR? 1 in 125 billion. But every driver seeks the pinnacle of their achievements. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year? 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I'm NASCAR driver Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
In today's edition, we have two different stories that involve the incredible power of our Western icon, the cowboy's best friend.
Get ready to cowboy up, y'all. Time to ride. For New Mexico combat veterans that have been injured or are dealing with combat trauma, their battles don't stop when they come home. That's why the Express UU Bar Ranch, headquartered in Rayado, New Mexico, is joining a unique and special nonprofit program called Horses for Heroes. Started in 2007 by Special Forces veteran and cowboy Rick Iannucci of Santa Fe, the Horses for Heroes program uses horsemanship, the calming beauty of the ranch, and the cowboy way of life as a means to decompress the vet in a soothing and calming atmosphere. From there, the new program's goal is to breed a whole new brand of cowboy or cowgirl, as the vets learn how to become a top hand or a wrangler using the brotherhood mentality learned in combat.
The desire for the Express organization, our principal desire, is just to be able to open this ranch to that kind of activity. Let these people come enjoy the backcountry, get out of not being qualified or stuck into just riding around in a big pen, but instead getting out and just becoming part of nature, being able to enjoy that experience from the back of a horse. Winston Churchill once said is that the outside of a horse does wonders for the inside of a person.
Hi, I'm Eric, a student at Hillsdale College. Here is President of Hillsdale College, Dr. Larry Arnn, on natural rights versus entitlements.
America was founded on the idea that human beings are born with natural rights, such as the rights to life, liberty, and property. A person who holds this view of rights makes no demands on others except that they respect those rights. Today, however, many Americans talk about rights to a college education, state-of-the-art medical care, and even birth control pills. These are rights understood as entitlements, and a person who holds this view of rights, far from making no demands on other people, is making claims on other people's money and resources. This understanding of rights not only sets citizens against each other, but it undermines the whole idea of natural rights.
This Constitution Minute was brought to you by Hillsdale College. To receive a free pocket Constitution and Declaration, go to constitutionminute.com.
Miss Producer is also known as Miss Giggles. You are listening to Political TNT on the Liberty National Network. This show has been pre-recorded and therefore we are unable to accept phone calls into the studio. But please feel free to comment on the show wherever you see this show posted.
Welcome back to Political TNT. And I'm racing to this truck stop.
You're not supposed to be racing.
Yeah, I've got to race. The clouds are getting quite dark, so I'm actually going to be stopping a little bit earlier to tarp this load. So, Miss Producer, what we got planned? What's our first topic?
Well, I kind of broke out our little topic there on what's going on. I wanted to start something with something a little bit different. So I guess we can keep up with the sexual allegations. What do you think?
That sounds like a good idea.
I mean, I don't even know where to start with this Kavanaugh stuff. There's just so much. I'll let you do your rant first while I get my mind together on what I'm going to rant about. I know, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I'll tell you what,
there's just so much stuff on this.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm gonna make a statement here about people even making believing either side really. I mean, I got my personal opinion, but first I'm going to start out by saying, really, we cannot judge either way. As far as did he do it, did he not do it? And was she really raped? Was she really not? Or attempted rape? Was attempted rape actually done on her, or wasn't it done on her? Was it him? Was it not him? Because this whole thing is a he say, she said thing. All right. As far as the FBI getting involved, people, the FBI, rape. Let me tell you guys something about the Constitution. All right. Murder, rape, all this stuff are local laws. They're not federal laws unless it's done on federal property. And if it's done in a state and across the state line, then all the federal government really does is help the two, three, or whatever number of states to be able to. I mean, if you guys remember the D.C. shooting, all the federal government really did on that whole thing was coordinate with the three, I think it was 3 states that was involved in that. They traveled between 3 states. coordinate with the 3 states to determine who was going to try them first and all that stuff, you know, to prevent any friction between the states. The FBI, and they've already made their statement, is not getting involved. All right? They're not getting involved. So it's a local issue. Will the local government get involved? I don't think so, because what is there to go on? What is there really to go on? Now, as far as my personal feeling on this whole thing, I feel that there was an attempted rape done on her. She saw the psychiatrist in 2012. The problem is she doesn't remember anything. And when she saw the psychiatrist back in 2012, she didn't even know who it was that did the attempted rape. She gave no name, no description of the guy. She said there was 4 guys, if I remember correctly, originally, and it wasn't really an attempted rape. It was a sexual harassment. And her story's changed so many times now. So, her, you know, if there was an attempted rape or whether it was sexual harassment, she doesn't remember anything. She doesn't remember. So, I mean, her memory was blocked, which the psychiatrist does say, and which I do say also, that your memory does kind of get blocked from such events. Oh, shoot. I do have to stop. Oh, shoot. I need to stop. Emergency stop. The rain ain't waiting.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, lucky I'm at the exit, but I'm going to need to really hurry and throw a tarp on this. I hope the freight ain't over 4 feet. Sides.
Oh, is it raining?
It's starting to sprinkle, so yeah, I got to hurry. Come on, people, move.
Oh. Well, going with what he's going off of, I personally, I don't think he did it. There's too many inconsistencies in her story. I could punch holes in her story, in her stories, all day long. Let me start off with this, and you can just pick up after you're done. Let me start off with this. What are the odds that this chick, Christine Ford, or whatever her name is, Christine Ford, she sends a letter to Frankenstein. For those that don't know, Diane Feinstein, but Frankenstein. We call her Frankenstein. Sends a letter to Frankenstein of the attempted rape allegation when she sees Brett Kavanaugh's name on the list. Okay. Remember, she sees his name on the list. He hasn't been picked yet. He just sees his name on the list. What are the odds out of the list of 25 people that Trump just happened to pick Kavanaugh out of the 25 people that was on that list for Supreme Court Justice? This is why I think it's all fabricated. So I want to know what the allegations would have been on Amy Barrett, because when I was looking at the list earlier, and on that list, did we lose you? On that list, the very top pick, the very top one, is Amy Barrett, and then Keith Blackwell. Brett Kavanaugh is number 9 on the list of the 25. So what are the chances, 1 of 25, that Brett Kavanaugh just happened to have sexual allegations brought up against him for being picked by President Trump? That makes me think that it was all fake, because how it just doesn't add up. The math doesn't add up. So I want to know what the allegations on Amy Barrett would have been. Amy Barrett. Let's see, Amy Barrett, Allison, Joan. Let's see. Those are the only 3 women names I see on that list. So out of those 3 women, I wonder what the allegations would have been on them 3 women. Sexual assault, attempt to rape, that's what I want to know. That's why I think this whole thing is set up. Now, I'm not going to say that they didn't attempt to rape her, or someone didn't attempt to rape her, but I do not believe at 1 second that it was Brett Kavanaugh. And then today, Brett Kavanaugh's accuser's classmate, here's another story. Classmate retracts claim incident didn't happen. Let's see, what is her name? Let me find her name real quick. Miranda's claim that, another small detail contradicting Miranda's claim, that many of us heard about it in the school, is that Ford claims the attack happened during the summer, presumably when school was out. On Wednesday, after these contradictions were brought to her attention, Miranda deleted her post about the hearing, about her post about hearing about it in school, with a cryptic explanation. She wrote on Facebook, "Hi all, deleted this because it served its purpose, and I'm now dealing with a slew of requests for interviews from the Washington Post, CNN, CBS News," she tweeted. "Organizing how I want to proceed, was not ready for that, not sure I am interested in pursuing. Thanks for reading." Then she goes on. She does during an interview with the far left NPR. Miranda admitted that it happened or not. I have no idea. I can't say that it did or it didn't. As far as her now deleted Facebook post claiming it did happen, and that many of us heard about it in school, Miranda told NPR she felt empowered to write it. Empowered? Miranda then announced she would not do any more interviews. "To all media, I will not be doing any more interviews," No more circus, she tweeted, before clarifying that she does not have firsthand knowledge of the incident that Dr. Christine Blasey Ford mentions. She said, I stand by my support for Christine. That's it. I don't have more to say on the subject. So the apparent witness has retracted her claim, her stuff. See, this is all blowing up. This is all coming out. This is why I think it was fake. Christine told her psychiatrist that there was 4 people involved. Then she claimed that there was only 2 people involved. Where the second, where the guy's friend that was Kavanaugh's friend that was supposed to be there said that it didn't happen. Now the claim is only Brett Kavanaugh was there. She's changed her story 3 times already. She don't know where it was. She don't know who was all at the party. And she's changed her story 3 times. So, with that being said, going back to my original comment, is what are the odds out of the 25 nominees, 25 picks, that it was Brett Kavanaugh that had the sexual allegation? What is the odds? That's why I think that it's all set up. It was all made up. Why? To delay the process. The Democrats want to delay the process of picking the Supreme Court nomination until after elections. This is all set up to delay the vote. They wanted an FBI. They're wanting an FBI investigation on it. They're not saying a local law enforcement investigation. They're saying an FBI investigation. Reason why they want an FBI investigation? Because it would take months for them to complete that investigation. By then, the midterm elections will be over, and possibly the Senate will, and the Democrats are hoping and betting and counting on that they're going to take over the Senate in midterms. They're counting on a blue wave. I don't see a blue wave happening. But regardless, Brett Kavanaugh is going to be your next Supreme Court justice. Like it or not, that is going to be the case. And there's so many people that are believing this woman. They're not putting together and seeing the whole picture. They're not seeing the inconsistencies in the story. All they're thinking of is she has to be telling the truth because she's a woman. She has nothing to lose. Or she has nothing to gain by it. No, she has a lot to gain by it. I mean, every allegation that has come up against all these other ones always come up with a couple of $100,000, $2 or $3, almost $1 million rewards for it. And paid off. I'm telling you, I would like to find out and follow this rabbit hole down to the end and see what's really going on, because I would like to know what the allegations would have been against Amy Barrett. Because now even Dianne Feinstein is coming out. Dianne Frankenstein is coming out. she's already throwing Christine under the bus. She's already throwing her under the bus. She said, I don't know if it's true. She's going, I doubt parts of it ain't even true. She's already throwing her under the bus because they know they screwed up. One, they didn't get all their stories straight before they started this. So what's going to be next? I mean, think about it. That's all Democrats have to do now. It's all Democrats have to do now is just make an allegation. It doesn't have to be true. They just have to make the allegation. Once they make the allegation, you've done destroyed that person's life. And they're going after this guy. What happened to innocent until proven guilty? Listen, the person who makes the allegation, the burden of proof falls on them. The burden of proof doesn't fall on the one who's being charged. Because he's innocent until proven guilty. Proof falls on the one who makes the allegation. She has to prove that he did this. She just can't make a blanket statement, a blanket allegation, and say he did this and not be able to back it up with proof. And people go, well, there is no proof. Well, how convenient is that? There's no proof at all that he committed anything with her. It's her word against his word. She should have kept her mouth shut because there's no proof. There's no proof to the allegation. Then it's just her word against his. It's a smear campaign among the Democrats against this guy. Look, we're already a week and a half, almost 2 weeks into this. Nobody has come forward and said that he did it to them too. Let me look at let's look at a pattern here. Bill Cosby. When the woman made the allegation about Bill Cosby, okay, it was like a domino effect. One woman did, another woman did, another woman did, another woman did. Now he's doing time. Okay? It was a domino effect. Let's go back to Bill Clinton. Okay, Monica Lewinsky come out and made her claim. She even had proof. You know, the semen on the dress. But when she come out and made her claim, another woman did, and another woman did. There was a pattern. There was a pattern showed. Okay, he did it. When all these other congressmen and senators that were accused of sexual assault, after one woman come out and said something, another woman did, another woman did, another woman did, another woman did. Okay, there's a pattern. There's a pattern. Okay, when you have more than one, then you got something. But when we got Brett Kavanaugh here and only one woman is making an allegation, we're already a week and a half into this, almost 2 weeks, and there's not any more allegations coming out. There's no pattern. Instead, Brett Kavanaugh has people writing letters on his behalf. His own classmates and women that he's known throughout the years always said, no, this ain't him. He don't do this. He treats people with respect. He doesn't commit these things. This is not his character. Out of all the other ones that we've looked at, Bill Cosby, Bill Clinton, and the others, there's something different going on here. It's actually going the opposite. There's people saying, no, this ain't him. He's not doing this. There hasn't been another accusation against him besides Christine. So I don't think it's real. Okay, now she may have been raped by somebody somewhere, sometime. Okay, or attempted rape, but I do not think it was Brett Kavanaugh. I think it was somebody else. And with that, we're going to go to our next break.
The Liberty National Network.
Where do you want to go to lunch?
I'm having a stroke.
Did you hear what I said?
I'm having a stroke.
Why aren't you answering me?
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F. Face drooping. A. Arm weakness. S. Speech difficulty. T. Time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
You may have doubts about healthcare sharing. I know we did. We studied literature about Samaritan Ministries, but we feared that it was just too risky. Instead, as our health insurance premiums went up each year, we would increase our deductible to reduce the premium. And then the inevitable happened. We had to use our insurance. We had a medical need that included tests, doctor visits, and even outpatient surgery treatment that totaled over $7,000, and it was all out of pocket. It took us 3 years to pay off, even after several of our healthcare providers reduced their charges. And we finally took a leap of faith and joined Samaritan.
Each month, we get to give to an actual person with a medical need. We pray for them and put them in the hands of the Lord for physical, emotional, and financial strength and healing. There's no way to fully express that pleasure and joy. During the first year we were members, we had a medical need, and it was all provided for. And the strength, peace, and healing from prayer.
Last year, our son was injured on a mission trip, 1,200 miles from home. The bills for the emergency room, doctors, stitches, and prescriptions totaled $5,300. But every last cent was provided for. In fact, last year we had 2 more needs, and each time our Samaritan family came through.
I worked in healthcare for 10 years, from front desk through billing. I would recommend Samaritan instead of any insurance product out there. Insurance has no assurances. In fact, it seems everything is written in such a way that there will be no assurance at your time of need. We just wish that we had trusted in God's provision sooner.
It is such a blessing to come alongside our brothers and sisters in Christ and share in each other's healthcare burdens. And there's such a peace and joy knowing that God is answering our prayers, bringing healing and providing for our needs.
Hi, I'm Devin, a student at Hillsdale College. Here is President of Hillsdale College, Dr. Larry Arnn, on what the founders meant by general welfare.
The great preamble of our Constitution states that the purpose of the document is in part to promote the general welfare. Contrary to the modern understanding of that term, the founders understood welfare to mean public good or happiness. This was understood in accordance with the principles of the Declaration of Independence. Such happiness is contingent on securing to each citizen his natural rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Because this requires the government be limited, the powers of the federal government were enumerated, and local matters were reserved to state authority. This was precisely intended to secure these inalienable rights and in turn promote the general welfare.
This Constitution Minute was brought to you by Hillsdale College. To receive a free pocket Constitution and Declaration, Go to constitutionminute.com. On what the founders meant by general welfare.
The Liberty National Network.
Travis Pope may sound like a big bad gorilla, but he is really a soft cuddly teddy bear. You are listening to Political TNT on the Liberty National Network. This is a pre-recorded show and therefore we are unable to take phone calls into the show. But please feel free to comment about the show wherever you see this show posted.
So, when I asked that question, I thought the meaning of my interrogation was obvious. The fate of this question and of America may depend on this. Have they said, we the states? Have they made a proposal of a compact between states? If they had, this would be a confederation. It is otherwise, most clearly, a consolidated government. Here is a resolution that is as radical as that which separated us from Great Britain. It is radical in this transition. Our rights and privileges are endangered, and the sovereignty of the states will be relinquished. And cannot we plainly see that this is actually the case? The rights of conscience, trial by jury, liberty of the press, all your immunities and franchises, all pretensions to human rights and privileges are rendered insecure, if not lost, by this change, so loudly talked by some and so inconsiderately by others. Is this tame relinquishment of rights worthy of free men? Is it worthy of that manly fortitude that ought to characterize Republicans? It is said 8 states have adopted this plan. I declare that if 12 states and a half had adopted it, I would, with manly firmness and in spite of an erring world, reject it. You are not to inquire how your trade may be increased, nor how you are to become a great and powerful people, but how your liberties can be secured. For liberty ought to be the direct end of your government. Guard with jealous attention the public liberty. Suspect everyone who approaches that jewel. The Confederation, this same despised government, merits, in my opinion, the highest praise. Why? It carried us through a long and dangerous war. It rendered us victorious in that bloody conflict with a powerful nation. It has secured us a territory greater than any European monarch possesses. And shall a government which has been thus strong and vigorous be accused of imbecility and abandoned for want of energy? Consider what you are about to do before you part with the government. When American spirit was in its youth, the language of America was different. Liberty, sir, was then the primary object. We are descended from a people whose government was founded on liberty. Our glorious forefathers of Great Britain made liberty the foundation of everything. That country has become a great, strong, splendid nation. Not because their government is strong and energetic, but, sir, because liberty is its direct end and foundation. We draw the spirit of liberty from our British ancestors. By that spirit, we have triumphed over every difficulty. But now, sir, the American spirit, assisted by the ropes and chains of consolidation, is about to convert this country into a powerful and mighty empire. If you make the citizens of this country agree to become the subjects of one great consolidated empire of America, your government will not have sufficient energy to keep them together. Such a government is incompatible with the genius of republicanism.
Welcome back to the show. I think the Oklahoma Tomcat is back with us. He's probably soaking wet.
Yep. Yeah. But I got tarp. In fact, I gotta get changed.
Man, that was a
I'm
fast
back.
talk. What did you do? Just throw it over it?
Oh, yeah. I had to fight the wind, too, because the wind was picking up. Hey, guess what happened after I got all tarped up?
What's that?
After I got all tarped up and everything, it stopped raining.
And the sun came out.
Actually, no. So I know there's more rain on the way.
All I have to do, all I have is one thing to say to you. I told you so.
And I knew it. Someone told me I should have.
I'm always right.
Nah, you're not always right. It's only right because the fact I also knew it was going to rain. So I'm always right. Now, if I disagreed with you, it wouldn't have rained.
No, it would have rained because I already know what's going on down there. It's flooding.
Well, on that last topic, I do want to, since I got interrupted and all that by the rain, I do want to say something about the whole issue on how I feel about it. And that is, all right, I do believe that there was a sexual assault, not by Kavanaugh, by somebody else. All right. And I don't even really, I say she was stupid for writing that letter to Frankenstein. And I will tell you guys why, and I will tell everyone who is sexually assaulted or raped or anything like that, or assaulted, even just general assault, do not write a politician about it. You go to your local authorities. It was stupid that she wrote that letter. Even if her heart was in the right place, her actions were wrong. All right? Now, I don't believe it was Kavanaugh. I don't believe it at all. As Travis did, too many things that point to the fact that he didn't do it, including the witnesses, not the witnesses, but, the character, those who wrote on behalf of his character. All she had was one person who tweeted out, making it sound like it was him, and then the very next day she turned around and said, oh, no, I didn't mean that tweet to sound like it was him. That's all she has. All right? I'm going to make this does hit me personally. The fact that these things are being done, it hits me personally, and I'm about to confess something right here, and that is I was raped at a very young age. All right, and this is why this bothers me a lot, that somebody would take rape, assault, a sexual assault, or any of this stuff and turn it into a political game. And that is exactly what Frankenstein and the Democrats are doing. And it really pisses me off that's being done. Because rape is a serious thing, people. Rape is serious. And it should not be used politically at all. What Frankenstein should have done was she should have, as soon as she got that letter, realized, first of all, that this woman is probably, if she was sexually assaulted and doesn't have very good memory, she's probably traumatized. And she's probably still suffering. I mean, we don't know. We don't know what this woman's going through, okay? We don't know. I can sympathize with her if she actually was, but I don't even know because everyone reacts differently. All right? And it is possible she forgot all this stuff. Why she's pointing out Kavanaugh, I have not the slightest idea. I have my speculations, but I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt just because I can relate to what being raped and sexually assaulted is like. But it is terrible. I blame the politicians and even these Democrats online and all these. If you are falling for all this stuff, I blame you also. You guys claim you are for women. You claim Me Too movement. But you know what? You guys do not care whatsoever. And I do understand, she forgot things. I totally understand it, okay? As far as what I went through, I could not pick the guy who raped me. Yes, it was a guy. I cannot pick him out. I don't remember what he looks like. And I only remember his first name, that's it. But I do remember the place. I don't remember the address. But I remember the place, so I remember what everything looked like. I can't, for some reason, I can't remember what the guy looks like. But it just boggles my mind that this has been made, that Democrats are taking such a serious issue and turning it into a politics. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves. You guys claim you're for women. No, you're not. You guys hate women. You guys want women to be raped so you can use it for your political gain. So you guys can get your people. You guys, there's no doubt in my mind that the politicians, the Democrats up there, the elected leaders, are using this woman and her circumstances to delay the vote. That's all it is. They know the FBI will not investigate. They know it. But they're insisting on it because they know it's going to delay the vote. That's all I have to say about it.
Yeah, like I said, it's all about delaying the vote, and now, and what they've done to her now is fed her to the sharks.
Yeah, she's more traumatized now than ever before. I mean, they made things worse because if she was sexually assaulted and it did affect her, well, now she's reliving the whole thing over again. And also, and to you Republicans that are, if she is getting death threats and stuff like that and being harassed, shame on you Republicans too. Okay? Listen, I do not say to take what she's saying, her accusations, and say, yes, we must take, he's guilty until proven innocent. I do not say that one bit. Say, have compassion, seeing that we do not know her history. Unless you were there, you don't know, okay? So I say have compassion. That's what I have to say about that, okay? Assume that she did go through this traumatic situation. Do not, go ahead and say, don't tell her, but go ahead, you could say that she was stupid for what she did, because that was a stupid act. But, okay, remember, her mind is not in the right place anyway if she did go through this, and she's really has no memory of this stuff, okay?
Well, what I'm also talking about the Sharks is that she's got to go before the Senate Judiciary Committee now. And I don't know if you've watched any of the old videos and stuff like that was produced about the Anita Hall incident. Are you familiar with that?
No.
Anita Hall accused Justice Thomas of sexually assaulting her or raping her, and he was picked by the Republicans, and she got in. They brought her up there too, just like they're doing Christine, and they grilled her. I mean, it turned out that he didn't do it. Okay.
Yeah.
It was a false allegation, but how they grilled her is what Christine's fixed to face. They're gonna get her in front of them. You got to remember, these are lawyers. All of these are lawyers. All these people that she's fixing to go see are lawyers. She's going to have to face 11 lawyers at the same time.
Uh-huh.
They are going to rip her to shreds over this. They're going to dig so deep, they're going to find out the truth.
Yep. And she better hope that her lawyer is good, which he doesn't sound like a good lawyer right now anyway. Which there's not going to make things any easier if he's if he's as stupid as he sounds. I really feel sorry for her, and it's that Feinstein did not do her any favors at all.
No, when she gets before the Senate Judiciary Committee, they are going to. They're going to bring up anything and everything. They want to know what's going on. Okay?
Yeah, the strong allegations that she's making. So,
Yeah, and this would be just like if she was to go to regular court. If there
was
a criminal trial
the
right now, if there's a criminal trial going on right now, the defense attorney is going to rip her to shreds, and this is what they're doing to her.
Yeah. Well, no, they're about to. She's going to go through a lot worse because these aren't just lawyers; they're politicians, and there's some of them there that's going to use her to criminate herself. They're going to. Keep in mind. I have bad feelings about what Republicans are about to do just because of the fact they're politicians. I don't trust politicians as far as I can throw them. I can't throw them. they're going to really go out and make her look bad because of the fact that what her and the Democrats, and she's being used as a pawn between two big political giants. You know, the Republicans are going to use her to make the Democrats look bad. The Democrats are going to use her to make the Republicans look bad. You know, if I was her, I would drop the whole thing and go in hiding. You know?
Yeah.
And what I last heard is she is going, and what I last heard is I heard this before the show, is that her lawyer is saying she will go there under conditions. I haven't heard what those conditions are yet. But apparently now they're having a change, because originally they were saying no, not until the FBI investigates. Now it sounds like they're changing it again. But I really hope that she goes there, that her lawyer is a lot better than he sounds, because that's her only hope, is that her lawyer will protect her.
Yeah, well, this is a completely different thing. There is no judge there, so there's not going to be no. There's not going to be no. I object to that question. This is completely some. He might be able to advise her. I wouldn't. He might be able to advise her.
He doesn't have to answer.
Yeah. Don't answer that.
Right. Yeah.
But
she can refuse the answer.
Yeah, but
because it ain't a court.
When she came out and told and revealed herself as the source.
Yeah.
She activated the machine.
Yeah.
This machine knows everything about her from when she was born to this day. They know everything by now. They know what she eats. They know what she wipes her, what hand she uses to wipe her butt with. They know everything. They know if she has high cholesterol. They know if her medical conditions. They know everything about her. Okay? If she has skeletons in her closet or anything, they know about it.
Mm-hmm.
They will rip her to shreds when she gets up there.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, her only hope is that her lawyer is good enough to at least shield her from some of that. But it's going to be that lawyer has to be real good, because, like I said, you're not just dealing with lawyers; you're dealing with politicians, and that's a totally different game, you know. And you got two. I mean, I don't know. I feel she doesn't realize this, but the Democrats are not on her side. They're not going to look out for her. And of course, the Republicans ain't going to look out for her. No. And of course, the Republicans ain't going to look out for her. I mean, they have no gain in looking out for her in the first place. So human nature takes over there. But you know, so she's got actually two political giants going against her. You know.
And for her,
and we already know Democrats will throw you under a bus in a heartbeat.
Yeah. And for her attorney, they know everything about him by now too.
Oh yeah, well of course. I mean, number one, he's out in the public anyway. But
yeah.
But the thing is, I would have suggested that she just go into hiding. You know.
Empty your bank account and go. Yeah. Go empty your bank account and disappear.
Yeah, because this ain't going to be good.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what though? that suggestion would have more of an impact now on Brett Kavanaugh's appointment than her going and testifying. If she just up and disappeared and vanished on her own, the public outcry is like, what happened to her? Where's she's at? Where is she? They'll be like, she made an allegation, now she's disappeared. What did y'all do with her?
Yeah. You know, you're gonna have to. Yeah, you're gonna have to. You know, then the Republicans, Democrats could use that. Against the Republicans. So that would actually be more helpful for the Democrats than her going, because she goes there. She's gonna be made to look real bad.
Yeah. Well, like I said, come Monday, if she shows up Monday, the whole world will know everything about her.
Yep.
Anything that she doesn't want to be revealed is going to be revealed. Like you said, they're going to dig up anything in her past. You know, it's going to be a character destroy. They're going to destroy her, and unless she's completely honest and truthful and everything like that, I don't see no way she's gonna make it out of this.
I don't really see what the purpose of her going there in the first place anyway, because she does not. She doesn't remember anything. I mean, there is nothing she could say. And every time she comes out with something different, also. So, she's contradicting herself, which that could be, in part memory lapses or whatever, but it still doesn't look good, and it cannot be used it's not going to be used. Listen, he's going to be the next Supreme Court justice. It's going to happen, guys. You guys are just really destroying this girl over something. There's no stopping him from becoming a Supreme. Listen, I'm not saying that because I support him. I have a list of things that I don't like that he's written and ruled on. But, he's going to be the next Supreme Court justice. And let me tell you, Democrats, it ain't going to be the end of the world. Your status guides will still rule. Abortion will still be federally legal. All right? Nothing's going to change other than the fact you're really showing how heartless you are towards, women who have been sexually assaulted or attempted rape, whichever one it is. That's all you're proving, is that you're heartless. And to all those in California, you guys need to fire Frankenstein, because if she really cared about women, she would have handled this a lot differently.
Yeah, she shouldn't have even brought that up.
She should have taken that letter and figured out and visited the girl and found out if she needs help or something. I use it as a political thing.
Yeah. She shouldn't have brought her into it like that. And I want to know who leaked her name to the press.
I don't even know how her name came out.
At first, it wasn't that she. At first, it wasn't that she wasn't. She didn't want to be in the public eye.
Right.
And then someone leaked her name to the press. By my understanding, she started getting phone calls from the press and stuff. And so she did what she did to get out in front of all the stuff, because they were already coming at her. So someone in Frankenstein's office leaked her name out.
If it wasn't Frankenstein herself.
It's probably Frankenstein herself because Frankenstein's already throwing her under the bus. Frankenstein's already saying, well, I don't know if any of this is true. We got 3 minutes left.
All right, and we're headed towards our trucking section, right?
Yep.
I forgot what half hour. Okay. Let me tell you guys something about one great way to be able to defend yourself, and that is through by using a taser, having a taser. Even just carrying one is a great deterrent, okay? Because at a glance, people do not realize it's a taser. Taser, at least the Pulse does. I don't know every taser out there. But what I have is a Taser Pulse, and I love it. It's easy to use. You guys can check out my YouTube channel, OK Tomcat, and see me firing it off. And it also does look and feel like a pistol. So it's very, very comfortable to be able to use. It even has a little light and the red laser to be able to aim. Also, a taser is a great way to defend yourself because it doesn't kill anyone. You're able to defend yourself from 15 feet away, which that is great if you are built small like myself, and you don't want that guy next to you who's about to attack you. And let's face it, drivers, we go to a lot of areas that are real bad. I almost stopped back there in Dallas, but the truck stops were completely packed. But looking around those truck stops, I'm like, wow. They're not a good environment, all right? So I recommend to every driver, and even if you're not a truck driver, if you're a stay-at-home mom or a woman that, I mean, we're right now we're talking about, someone who may have been had an attempted rape done to her. If you're going to college, you hear about all the rape going on and stuff like that. It's a great idea to get for a gift, for your daughter going off to college. So go to truckers-defense.com and check out all their self-defense. They got more than just tasers there. Check them all out. And I'm sure you'll go there. You'll see their prices are reasonable. And if you contact them, they are very good people to work with. Truckers-defense.com. Go there, and we'll be back after these messages.
The Liberty National Network.
Last night we put on an epic light show.
Yeah, we did.
The crowd loved us. We love the crowd.
Wait, but there were only 4 people out there.
Yeah, but did you see their 4 faces? All 8 of their eyes lit up brighter than ours. And we're fireflies.
Yeah, we are.
Hey, that one girl, she looked like she'd never seen glow-in-the-dark like this before, and we invented glow-in-the-dark.
Yeah, we invented it.
And we're going to be out here every night rocking out our light show at a forest near you.
Woohoo!
So come check us out.
Check us out.
And bring your kid, all ages show. Oh, but don't bring any of those glass jars, because they make us kind of nervous.
Yeah, and I'm super claustrophobic.
Whether you're rocking their world or they're rocking yours, some memories never fade. Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you and discover other cool things to do when you go, like fishing, biking, or even camping. Visit discovertheforest.org.
See you later!
Yeah, see you soon.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
I'm a golfer and an avid golf fan. Jack Nicklaus, Lee Trevino, Gary Player, Johnny Miller, and Tom Watson were golfers from the 60s and 70s who greatly inspired me, But the one I admired most was Arnold Palmer. Palmer was an aggressive, go-for-broke golfer. His popularity produced a legion of fans known as Arnie's Army. They held Palmer in such high regard that they named him the King. This honor was bestowed not only because of Palmer's prowess on the golf course, but, and I would add more importantly, because of his kindness and generosity toward others. Throughout his life, Arnold Palmer not only gave full effort to his sport, he gave generously of himself to the people who crossed his path. It didn't matter how busy or tired he was. It didn't matter how famous he became or who the person was in front of him. He was known to always be kind and generous. Palmer's example reminds us that no matter who we are, the most precious gift we can give is our time and our attention. In other words, ourselves. We share the present of our presence as we follow the ultimate gift giver, Jesus Christ. What is the greatest gift Jesus gives us? Himself. In John 6, he told his disciples, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty. Sadly, when Arnold Palmer passed in 2016, we lost his loving presence. Like Palmer, Jesus experienced death, but 3 days later, he rose from the grave. Through his resurrection, we have an inexhaustible supply of the bread of life. Even now, Jesus is seated at the Father's right hand. He continues to share his love and life with us. One way we remind ourselves of his generous sacrifice for us is through communion. At the table, we receive the bread of life and the fruit of the vine. We remember that Jesus sustains us and satisfies our thirsty souls. And there's more. Jesus also comes to us by the Spirit, day in and day out. Do we sense his presence and rejoice in it as we pray and study his word? Do we hear his voice and follow it as we walk and talk with him throughout the day? My prayer is that we will. This is Greg Williams, speaking of life.
Hi, I'm Stephen, a student at Hillsdale College. Here is President of Hillsdale College, Dr. Larry Arnn, on the enduring importance of federalism.
Many in Washington today have grown so accustomed to centralized bureaucracy that they think of federalism as old-fashioned, kind of like fife and drum music. Those who wrote the Constitution saw federalism as a vital principle of free government in a large republic. The division of power between the federal government, state governments, and local governments would serve as an important protection against tyranny. The founders also understood that while the federal government is essential for national matters like foreign policy and defense, governments closer to the people were far better suited to oversee local matters. As we see in the problems that result from centralized bureaucracy today, there's nothing out of date about the founders' argument for federalism.
This Constitution Minute was brought to you by Hillsdale College. To receive a free pocket Constitution and declaration, go to constitutionminute.com.
The Oklahoma Tomcat thinks he is a big bad cat, but he is really as harmless as a kitten. You are listening to the Political T&T on the Liberty National Network. This is a pre-recorded show, so we are unable to accept phone calls into the studio. But please feel free to comment on the show wherever you see this show posted.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. And our next story is also good. Huh?
I said you disappeared.
No, I'm here. Do you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Our next story is also going to be a very sad story. And you're the original one that discovered this story, or who was it that told you about the story?
My wife.
Yeah. So you also got a wife that's your reporter, huh?
Yeah.
A fellow truck driver. Yeah. a fellow truck driver, Carmisha, who drove for KLLM Transport Services, was found dead in her truck in New Orleans. She was parked at a truck stop, Mardi Gras truck stop. And she went inside the truck stop, watched football, and made a phone call to her sister. And then the phone call she made to her sister, by the way, was one that she told her sister that she was pickpocketed, which I'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later. Then she went out, and either Lyft or Uber drove her back to her truck. And she was she hasn't been heard of, apparently for 3 days. Her mom called the store, the truck stop, and the manager went out and investigated. And the doors were locked, and there was no answer to the door, so he called the police, and the police and the fire department came. They looked in and saw flies in the truck, busted the window, and she was covered in blood. They are not saying much, at least the last I checked, about her as far as how she died and or any of that. There's even insinuation that she may have been drugged. But the family came and see her body right now. But very, very strange story. Do you have any other information on it? She's from Mississippi, by the way.
No, I haven't really. I thought there was a reason why they didn't let the family see the body or something like that.
Yeah, actually, let me scroll down. By the way, I'm getting this story from KLFY, News 10 in New Orleans. Let me scroll down too, because they do kind of say why they're not letting. Thomas says authorities won't allow her to see her daughter's body. Quote, they told me, by the way, Thomas is the mother. Quote, they told me they had to chemically embalm her and wrap her up in a pouch. Keep in mind, her body has been in the truck for 3 days. Well, how could you let someone sit on? And now she goes on the attack to the truck for the truck driver, and I think that's probably why they're not letting her see the body.
The truck stop.
That's the truck stop by saying, and I'm quoting, "How could you let someone sit on your parking lot for 3 days and you noticed they haven't come and paid?" Now, when I first saw that she was attacking the truck stop, I was like, well, how do they know the truck's been sitting 3 days or why it's been for 3 days? They normally don't pay attention to this stuff. But then when she said, haven't come in and paid, turns out the truck stop is you have to pay per day. So the truck's been sitting 3 days, and no one's even checked to see to try to collect the money or anything.
Or take the normally they, you go park at a TA for 3 days without paying, in their paid parking lot, on their paid spaces. They're going to hook up to it and tow it off.
Yeah. Now, I don't know how this truck stop is set up. Now, because he did bring up something with the TA, and I know that TA in Dallas, Texas, is paid parking, but you grab a ticket and you park and you don't pay until you leave. If it's that type, then I'm going to say, well, yeah, the manager wouldn't know. Because you don't pay until you try to exit the truck stop. But if it's like the ones I was thinking of, which is the ones you were just mentioning, if it's those reserved parking type ones where they have parking spots that you have to pay, you have to pay per day on those. I mean, you have to tell them how long you're going to park there, and you have to pay in advance. So it does depend on. I just now dawned on me that if this is a secure law where everyone has to pay, then they won't know.
Let me. What is the name of the question? What is the name of the truck stop?
It is Mardi Gras, as in the festival. Now, here's the one question I have, though. This is KLLM, which that's a large trucking company. Why hasn't? Because she was under a load. What happened to dispatch? I mean, I would think that the dispatcher would have started questioning the next day. Hey, what's up? And I sure hope our dispatcher would question if they don't hear from us for a day, especially if we're under a load. But that's where my question would have been towards. Go ahead.
I'm sitting here actually looking at the truck stop now on Google Earth.
Yeah.
And it's just you just enter it. You probably got to go in and pay for a day.
Okay. Yep, I've been to one of those. That's another type of pay. Yeah.
And you just put a sticker up, and you put a sign in your window. A lot of times they're different color signs.
Yep.
But there's no guard shack there's no guard shack here.
Yep, I've been to one of them too. That is another one. I don't think of them very much because I very seldom see them. Those are usually your smaller truck stops. What it is, for those that don't know, is you go in and they'll have signs all over the place, including the door when you enter the truck stop, saying you have to pay to park over a certain amount of time. They usually give you a certain amount of time that you can just go and grab some and then leave. But yeah, that would be another thing. I mean, apparently this truck stop doesn't patrol their parking lot. Which down there in New Orleans seems like that's something they would do, is patrol the parking lot. That is not the greatest place to be staying. But my biggest thing would have been, what happened to dispatch? That was my first thought. How could a driver sit 3 days, whether under a load or not under a load? How can a driver sit for 3 days without dispatcher questioning, where are you? What are you doing? Are you ready for a load? Or why haven't you delivered yet? I mean, I know our dispatcher wouldn't be sitting 3 days without hearing from us.
Yeah.
So,
why ain't that truck moving? We know. We know what ours will be doing.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy would be like, hey, have you picked up yet? Have you delivered yet? When are you gonna deliver? When are you gonna pick up? I think after. I would even give him till noon before he starts trying other ways to get a hold of us. I wouldn't even give them till noon. You know, assuming that we're supposed to deliver or pick up a load.
You know, I'm sitting here looking at this truck stop and going through it, and they've got video cameras all over this place. There's one practically at there's one at every pump on the side of the wall, on the side of the walls.
Yeah, so somebody should have seen something. The police do have information. They're just not releasing anything right now.
Yeah, I mean there's video cameras all over this place. It's parked right beside a Lowe's, so I know Lowe's has video cameras too. Yeah.
And being in that area, it seems like that would be the thing, because like I said, New Orleans is not a great place to be sitting.
Yeah.
I mean that is a dangerous truck stop.
Yeah, and as truck drivers, we know which truck stops is not good to be at and stuff like that. For instance, you won't catch me staying at a truck stop in well, there's a lot of truck stops I won't stay at. But take for instance Memphis.
Yeah, that's
truck
that
stops
one. Yeah.
In Memphis. I will not stay in West Memphis truck stops. I mean, you don't pull up there. I mean, if anybody has a CB on, you'd know that that's not the place to stay. I mean, you're not. If you got your CB on, and you're starting to pass, going by there. I mean, you're not within 5 miles of the place, and you're already hearing drug dealers on the radio. Night or day, them drug dealers are on that radio trying to sell drugs.
Yep.
At that Memphis truck stop. Okay. Now, I don't care what another man does with his life and stuff. Whatever they put in their body, that's their problem. But currently, right now, drugs are illegal in our country. Okay? And so normally whenever there's drug sales going on, you got a high crime area anyways.
Yep.
So I don't even stop at places like that. I don't stop at the Pilot in North Carolina and Charlotte, North Carolina. You won't catch me at that Pilot. I went there one time in the middle of the daytime. It was about noon. And I wasn't there 3 minutes before I had people coming, walking up to my truck, trying to sell me stuff, trying to get money off of me, trying to sell me drugs, bumming money off of me, and I literally had to jump back in my truck and get my taser and carry it with me.
Yep.
Just because of the area. Dallas is another one. I do not stop.
Yep.
I will not stop at it's in Dallas. Ever. If I have to stay in Dallas overnight, I go to Atomic truck parking in Dallas. Atomic truck parking. It's a secured lot, has a security guard, and you're locked behind a fence. There's no There is a they do have restroom facilities there, but you're not going to find you anything to eat or anything like that there. All it is basically a truck parking. And it's called Atomic Truck Parking in Dallas. That's the only place I go to. Matter of fact, I think I have it in your GPS on your truck when I gave it to you. Atomic Truck Parking.
Yeah.
If I have to stay in Dallas, that's where I stay, right there. They charge me $15 for a night. But you know what? I know I'm not going to get no knocks on my door, and I know I'm going to be safe. You know, $15 for my security is a lot better than being at the truck stop.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because shortly after I started truck driving, a guy was knocked out. He got out at the Dallas truck stop at the Flying J. He just pulled in, got out, got his clothes to go take a shower. Was walking across the parking lot, and a couple of guys knocked him out, stripped him down butt naked, and left him in his socks on the parking lot. Took his clothes, everything. Left him laying in the parking lot. After hearing about that and seeing, I mean, I don't know if you pulled up to the truck stop when you was there in Dallas, if you actually pulled up in there.
Yeah, I did.
But, one, they're real tight.
Yeah.
The pilot is really bad. I mean, God. I had a boss that would go over to there's a truck wash right beside the pilot there in Dallas, and that's the only place he would wash his trucks because they do a hand dry, towel dry.
Yeah.
And so he took us there to get a wash on the trucks, and he said, "Make sure you lock your doors, take your keys, and lock your doors." He said, "Do not leave this truck unlocked ever." And he said, and put your wallet in your front pocket.
Which that's one of the things I wanted to address was the pickpocketing thing. Well, there are times when you may find yourself in a bad area, people. But even if you're not in a bad area, you should never, ever, 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 ever have your wallet in your back pocket, except if you're wearing actual military clothing. Like I wear the Navy fatigue. But you should never put your wallet in your back pocket. And the reason why it's so easy to pickpocket people without you even knowing it. All right. Me, I always, even with the clothing I wear, which I can put my wallet in the back pocket and no one would be able to take it out without me knowing about it. I carry in if you wear cargo pants, you know, the cargo pants have a pocket there on the leg. Put your wallet there. Put your wallet in your front pocket if you can. Me, I have trouble because I carry so many things. But don't put it in your back pocket, okay? If you find yourself in an area, which I have been several times, found myself in bad areas, make sure that you're aware of your surroundings. All right? If you can, choose a parking spot like Travis mentioned. Also in Dallas, you have the TA, which is secure parking. Find a secure parking and pay a little bit. But if you can't, if you're delivering in a spot,
I don't even
delivered,
trust the TA.
Yeah, but if you find yourself have to park somewhere where it's not a good neighborhood, make sure they take the precautions. They claim there's insinuation, it's not actually officially, that this girl was drugged. Watch out, anything that you pick up, anything that, if you're drinking something, don't leave it unattended. All right. This girl's trunk was not broken into. We don't know how she died, but it's not.
They haven't released that information.
Nope, they haven't. So it's hard to say that the truck wasn't broken into or anything. In fact, they had to break into it. But my prayers go out to her family. It's a very tragic story and something that all of us truck drivers hate to hear, that fellow truck driver has been killed. But our show's about to end. I see Miss Producer is giving us the countdown. So check out our website, www.ptat.show. That's Papa Tango, Alpha Tango. Check out our website, and on our website you'll find out all the information about us, including when our shows are broadcast, and where our podcasts are is also listed on there. All right, yeah, we are on several podcasts, and we are continuing to grow. So check us out, and this here is going to be broadcasted on Friday, so our next show will be on Monday. Yep. Anything else there, Travis?
What's that? And I know,
Anything
by the
else?
way, you ain't gonna pickpocket. You're not gonna pickpocket my wallet, because as soon as that thing is gone, I know it's gone. Because the pain is stopped. The pain stops.
Also, that's another reason to carry a taser.
Yeah.
But be
and
careful,
with that,
people.
we
Be
will
careful.
see y'all. Yeah, be careful. Have a good weekend, and we will see y'all Monday. And create
Goodbye.
some stories for us. We need something to talk about.
I think Democrats should